Hey, Big Gauchos, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show, Big Gauchos, a stock investing show that's completely out of pocket to help put money in your pocket. I'm Austin, back with the boys. How's everyone doing?
What up, Big Gauchos? It's your boy, Big Gaucho Tyler. I'm back.
Hey, Dave's here, and hopefully everyone had a great weekend. We got Tyler back. He was just visiting Moscow for the weekend, and yeah, let's get this started.
Yep, just a quick weekend trip, but we got some really interesting industry-shaking news up first. Apple is expecting to reveal that they're going to be breaking up with Intel to do their own processors. Um, I wonder how that's going to work because Intel's kind of on the cutting edge of all that.
hmm Yeah, yeah. So that is pretty big, and it's going to take Apple a while to catch up. I think Intel is way ahead of the game in terms of processor power for computers, and I'm just curious to see if when Apple does start making their processors, if it's only going to be included in Macs or if it'll spread to Windows as well.
Yeah, that's a really interesting one, especially because if you think about it, Apple outsources a lot of their parts production to other countries. So it would kind of just make sense that they would also go to, Intel to get processors for the foreseeable future, but maybe they're trying to change their whole business model at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I think it could be possible that they're just trying to prevent outsourcing so they can just, keep everything within the company to, increase their profit margin, probably. That's what I'm thinking.
Definitely, definitely. I'm sure the markup is already huge on phones and computers though, especially when they're in such big quantities.
hmm Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I know with like processors, there's always like a new processor coming out every couple of years, and whenever a new one comes out, it's in high demand because it's the best. And essentially, the next or the latest generation is totally obsolete when the new one comes out, just because the new ones are always so much better than the old ones in terms of power.
It's very true. I would have to agree with that. And who knows if they're even because they do their own, iOS. They have their own software development too. So I feel like you could take a lot of money to start focusing on, doing processors at the same time, and they're really gonna have to make that investment worth it to save a few bucks per phone by not buying from Intel. Personally, I don't
Yeah.
think it's a great move, but I guess we'll see.
I mean, think about it though. Intel is going to be losing $3 to $4 billion within the next 2 years because they're not going to be a part of Apple. So what do you think the next move for Intel is going to be? Do you think it should be a buy? What do you think is going to happen to their stock? All that because Apple is such a big company. They're going up ridiculously right now. Honestly, I they need to come up with some type of game plan to still like stay in the game.
Right.
hmm
I think they're definitely gonna have to latch onto another company, but no one's doing it as big as Apple, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they still have like HP. I'm pretty sure Windows does them too. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly,
Microsoft
Intel,
works with them.
yeah, exactly. I mean, Intel's still going to be there. They're honestly in probably every computer that I know of or any type of big type of smartphone or whatnot. But still, it's $3 to $4 billion isn't anything to joke around about. So
No,
they
that's
definitely need to
that's a ton of revenue.
they definitely need to put something together, just come out with some type of chip that's even better. Like, some pull it out of their vaults saying like, hey, we got this chip that no one's ever gonna be able to compete with. And then that's when Apple's gonna start getting hurt by it if they
Right.
decide to go.
Right. And I don't know too much about the whole microprocessor thing, but I'm not like an expert authority on it, so I guess we'll just
Right.
see what happens. From a financial standpoint, it seems like a gamble, that's all.
Yeah. So my teacher actually worked for Intel. He's been there for over 20 years before he started teaching. Basically what he said about like microchips and processor chips when they first started were getting bigger like width. But obviously people want smaller chips and whatnot. So what they tend to do is instead of going wide, they would stack. So basically, microchips that are more powerful have more stacks of I don't know what the material is or essentially what the microchip is made out of. He told me, but I don't remember it. But they keep stacking layers. That's what makes it more
Silicon.
powerful. Silicon, whatever. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's kind of how like the formation of a microchip comes in.
Yeah, that's way above my pay grade.
I know. Tell me about it.
Yeah, that's not really in my wheelhouse.
Yeah. I mean, I just know that getting a super good processor isn't really super important unless you're like a gamer boy or like you just do a lot of stuff on your computer. Do like heck, maybe even doing a bunch of art stuff. You might need a pretty good processor to render the images and stuff. But for the majority of people, just like an i5 would be good. Just you don't need to have the latest edition because it's kind of a waste of money.
Right, just personal use. I feel that.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. It's interesting, and I don't know if it'll be a super big hit to Intel because I mean, it could be, but it just has to do with how Apple approaches it. If they make a processor that's as good as Intel's, then it's going to really be bad for Intel. But if Apple cannot compete with Intel and their processor is just trash, then I think you might see maybe a down use in number of people using Macs.
100%, 100%. It's very risky. I think it'll take them a long time to innovate that high. But
Yeah.
there is one sector that isn't changing too much, and that's definitely housing. We got first time since March, number of Americans missing mortgage payments is down from 4.3 million to 4.2 million. um, I guess that's an improvement considering forbearance is going to end in uh, end of August now. It just got announced
Ah,
that it was extended. I know, big bummer.
big bummer.
Yeah, yeah, putting the hurting on real estate. But yeah, I mean that's super weird. You'd think it'd be going up because people are still unemployed and the numbers are still terrible, but it's going down for some reason.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I mean, that's optimistic. You don't want people to be in forbearance because it just messes up everything. They can't pay their rent, and then whoever owns the property, whether it's the bank or some other company or other person, then they can't pay their mortgage, and it just messes up the entire economy, honestly. So that's good news.
Yeah, I guess. It depends on what industry you're in. I mean, if you're in real estate, stuff really isn't moving that much, just because nobody's really selling anything. But
Yeah.
hopefully it just normalizes again, and we just get the forbearance thing sorted once and for all. Like, just depending on how it is, like it'll probably take months from now to get into effect, but I don't know. That could be a big factor if we do have a crash. It's definitely real estate because it would trail behind.
Hmm.
Um, Especially since 8.5% of homes in the country are in forbearance. If you do the math,
Yeah, that's a lot of houses.
it's a it's a big
And
chunk of people not paying for their house.
yeah, and honestly, if this actually goes through and people stop paying for their houses even after forbearance, then essentially they go to foreclosure or they're forced to sell their house. And Austin, you've been predicting this. We expect to see a flood in the market. In the market,
That's what I'm thinking, but honestly, it probably won't ever happen just because as long as Trump's still trying to get reelected, they're going to keep holding off. They're going to keep stalling everything in the economy, and then they're not going to let it drop right now, sadly. So I don't think my dream will come true, but I'll have to dream up something else.
right? I mean, yeah, just wait till election's over and then everything will crash.
Oh, it'll be a good buying day for us, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting. I'm patient. I got some money saved up. I'm ready for this.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Hmm. Do you guys think that the government's going to stop collecting taxes or property taxes if people's houses are in forbearance?
Um, Probably not, because I know it's a big function of like local government too, with like the property taxes and collecting and all that.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I
I
think
wish.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, the economy, like with small businesses and not these big corporations, but like all these small businesses and trying to revitalize the economic pattern that every like big city has. I think they really need the money for it, so I think they'd have to keep collecting.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating.
It's very frustrating, and it's probably going to have some bad consequences that we're going to talk about later in the episode.
Hmm.
Not excited, but in other bad news, American Airlines is trying to raise another $3.5 billion,
Damn
and
it.
yeah, I know about 1.5 billion. They're going to try to issue new shares to raise money for that. So I think I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't have too much of an opinion. I'm just glad I sold.
Yeah, great sell.
I haven't been paying attention to what they're trading at, but are you boys still holding it?
Yep. I think they're at $14 right now.
So
If
glad
this
I'm
goes
out.
through, this is kind of like a Hertz 2.0. They're gonna be devaluing their current stock, basically fund their demise. Sorry,
You're good.
their demise, because stock prices go down means their valuation on their company goes down, means they're burning more money, which tends to mean they are gonna lead into bankrupt unless the government bails them out. Wait, why are they asking for more? Why did the government stop funding the airlines? I thought they bailed them out.
I think they were just buying junk bonds is where it left off. Like they
Yeah,
weren't they weren't necessarily bailing out the airlines. It's just like if they were getting a double B minus credit rating after the crash started and they were fine before, then J Powell set the money printer on high speed for them, but everyone else was screwed.
yeah. So they were just buying bonds so they can borrow more money, essentially.
Yeah, bro, this is not looking good, man. I need them to go back up to $20. This is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Bro,
bro. I
you're
saw
telling me.
I sold at 1944 and I bought for 930 a share.
Great buy. Great buy and sell.
So I finally paid off on that and Carnival
Yeah,
too. I'm so glad I'm done with Carnival. Not that that's related, but
Dude, I don't know, man.
I'm gonna be on American for a long time.
Yeah, me too.
It's gonna be years.
yeah, travel is so volatile right now. I don't want anything to do with it. So in the end, we learned that Warren Buffett was right, and he is still stock Jesus.
He is stock Jesus. But hey, well, at least I'm still up in American. Who knows? Maybe this bad news was just send them to the moon just for some obnoxious reason. I would,
Yeah, right.
I would be kind of
um,
happy if that happened because if they go up to like $30 again, where I bought it at a long time ago, then I would sell it and I wouldn't care if I need to make no money because I want out. I want to
yeah,
be let out of the cage.
yeah. I mean, if it drops to under 10, I'm gonna rebuy.
It's the same thing with U.S. oil for me. But yeah, we just got to keep holding and wait for these to break even, and like we'll do better on our taxes anyway. So
I sold. No comment.
you sold, no comment.
I sold a USO, so no comment on them.
All right, fair enough.
I'm still hold.
Yep, me too. Well, bag holding isn't always bad unless you're the White House and you're holding on to that trade deal with China. But now it's coming crashing down. It's all over. What
Yeah,
can you
so
tell us there?
apparently, one of the White House trade advisors, his name is Peter Navarro, he apparently said that the trade deal with China is quote unquote over. So maybe we're looking into some more trade wars with China, which would be, you know, not very fun.
I was gonna say we definitely don't have enough production here in the United States to replace them. So we're gonna have to give in at some point. I hate to say it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think they do have some leverage over us just because they produce almost everything here. I mean, we don't really. I mean, we produce some things, but compared to what China produces, it's I don't know. We probably produce maybe 10% of the stuff we consume.
Oh yeah, it's almost nothing anymore. And that's a big concern of a lot of people coming into election time, but you gotta play ball with China at some point. I mean, they make everything for the whole world.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. Do you think after the coronavirus, do you think some manufacturing jobs may be coming back to America just because we saw that, at least at the very beginning of coronavirus back in December before it really came here, or not back in December, back in January before it came here, um, China was shutting down their factories. And I mean, of course we did too eventually, but do you think some manufacturing jobs may be coming back here as a result of that?
I think maybe if the commercial real estate gets cheaper and the trade deal falls through, then yeah, I think that'll be a more popular industry for us, and hopefully we get more exports out of it too.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Because
I
we
don't know,
are we
not.
are very heavily reliant on China right now.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not like a super knowledgeable about trade, but I feel like it's under my impression right now that when you trade with someone, it's a benefit to both of you essentially,
Yeah,
right?
it 100% is.
Because
Well, we'll have to see where the trade ends up going after that. I think it's I think it's looking pretty scary out there, and like Dave was saying, it could be a bad time.
yeah, so we're probably going to see some prices go up in the United States for some common manufactured goods, just because Trump is probably going to put some more tariffs on things, and China will probably retaliate and put tariffs on our things, and it's not going to be a fun time. But maybe if you
Exactly.
lived outside the U.S. and you were watching, then it might be kind of fun. But
Well, we also have way more regulations, and we have OSHA and labor unions and stuff like that. So, I mean, even if we do start making things here, it's going to get super expensive just for us to be doing that.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. So it's not very good. It's the one thing that's good about China is they have even though they have human rights they don't really have the best human rights, but they
Oh, and the labor's super cheap.
yeah they have complete control over the labor with the Communist Party.
Yep. So that's why we're so heavily reliant on them, because everything's cheaper in China.
hmm
Which brings us to our another point, that the dollar could get super devalued, and it's going to happen fast, is what Stephen Roach is saying, and he's a very well known economist. Um, he's saying that the dollar could be in a lot of trouble. So who knows? Maybe the yen will keep going up or something like that.
yeah, so I that probably has to do with the debt that we're spending, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and supposedly not all of it is going to be circulating into the economy, but I mean, we'll see if that ends up being true.
Money machine goes.
Yes, it does.
So if the U.S. gets devalued and let's say the U.S. dollar is no longer the world currency, what do you think will be? Is it going to be the Chinese yuan or whatever it's called?
Yen.
Is it yen? Oh yeah, the yen. Or do
I
you think
think
it's
it's a
going to
euro.
be the euro?
Yeah, that's my guess.
You think the euro is going to? Yeah, the euro is probably going to be the powerhouse of the world.
Or the Canadian dollar.
No, it's already weaker than the U.S. dollar to start with.
The pesos from Mexico.
Automatically gets
What is
stronger
the
than the euro.
Venezuela thing? The Venezuela Bolivia, right? Is that what it's called? Bolivia?
Bolivar.
Bolivar.
Bolivar?
It's a
Uh,
bolivar.
Bolivar.
Don't know how I remember that.
Yeah, that'll be
Thanks to Spanish class.
Spanish class. Yeah,
That's
so
right.
that is it's a little bit worrisome. We've in our entire lifetime and also our parents' lifetime, the dollar was king, dollar was everything. And now, maybe that may no longer be the truth. Maybe something else will be king, and that would really kind of suck for us.
I know. Might have to start considering other countries as options.
Nah, we're not there yet.
No,
It's
it's not.
just,
It's not that bad yet.
yeah, it's just really frustrating. I know I talk about this a lot, but it really frustrates me a lot how we can never pass a budget that's balanced. All we do is just spend deficits on deficits, no matter what. And usually, in the U.S. history, we used to only pass deficits when it was wartime because we needed to fund the military. But now we're just passing deficits for like the fun of it, and it's honestly it's really frustrating. And I don't see any end in sight because neither Republican or Democrat cares about the budget. They just pass whatever they want to pass, just to pass. Like because senators will pass budgets that are like 500 pages long, where they're essentially just trying to get funds for their state, and that's not how things should be. Like that's not how things should work. It's really not. And I don't know. There needs to be some major changes to how we pass budgets because it's not fair, and people are taking advantage of it, and it's bullshit.
Yeah, I would totally
True.
agree with that. Man, I don't know. The whole I don't want to say that it's political because it's not really. It's just like it kind of is. It's just like certain parties are trying to save their asses from, being out of the fire, and then, we end up getting burned as just, existing as citizens. Like we pay for the consequences of everybody trying to get like reelected or like look better for their party. So that's just my opinion.
That's
Mm.
true. A lot of people are trying to get reelected. So essentially, what they do is they borrow money, make it seem like everything's all good, but at the back end of it, there's a big deficit that all the politicians are writing, regardless of what party you are. And essentially, the more money we take out and spend, the worse it is for everybody.
I know, man. Yeah, this stimulus is definitely going to come back to bite us in the butt.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why we need a stimulus. That makes sense to me. Just because companies were shut down, so you need to fund the American population. Otherwise, they're going to starve to death. Essentially, they're not going to be able to pay bills and pay for food. But just even 3, 4, or 5, 6, 7 years ago, when nothing was really going on, we were just passing huge deficits, and it's just I don't know. It's just stupid.
It is. And like, if if you if you start to think about it, we're we're not even going to be a major we might not even be a major player in terms of like economic superpower in a couple of years.
I'm not sure if it's going to be that fast, but if things continue the way they are, that could be a possibility.
Yeah, I mean all these people are out of work, small businesses are failing left and right. It's just it's a really scary world out there. And I agree with you, like I'm not saying that we can completely do without the stimulus because I don't think that we can, but the balance sheet is way over budget, so they definitely didn't need all the money that they were using.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I don't really talking about politics either, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just
well,
looking for someone who's going to balance the budget, and I don't think anyone is going to do that in the near future. So
nope, it's just all about political interests. But I don't like talking about politics either, so we could talk about one of our favorite bankrupt gems, Hertz. Ooh, really brutal day out there.
the good old
Hertz,
Hertz.
I know, it's awful. They're getting destroyed left and right, and and just simply because of them going out of business and not leasing or owning any new cars, it could have really bad effects for Ford and General Motors just because of how many cars they get sold to them. And I didn't know this, but Hertz will also lease brand new cars from Ford and General Motors.
Oh wow, yeah, I didn't know that either. But that would be pretty terrible for Ford. And I own a little bit of Ford. I've owned Ford for a very long time, more than I want to say. But it's been probably close to, almost 4 years now since I've owned Ford, and I haven't made any money. I'll be honest.
What's the dividend, Dave?
Just wait on
The
the recovery.
dividends, so the dividends aren't like bad. They're not good either. They're But even with dividends included, I've still lost money, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
even if you do have to hold it long term, you know what they say: time in the market is better than, just flipping it quickly.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a veteran Ford dealer, Ford trader, so
There you go.
I'd
It's a good way to
recommend
look.
no one to get involved in Ford. It's not a good idea.
No, they're super up and down, even more than Hertz. But they're saying that Hertz is going to flood the used vehicle market because they own hundreds of thousands in their fleet.
I
And
believe it.
if they're going completely under, I mean, they're going to have to sell the cars at like rock bottom price at some point, not right away, but they're going to have to start paying off all the creditors. And so I think they're going to have to do some kind of a big fire sale at some point.
Yeah, they'll be selling cars for like $20.
Dude, we're gonna put it in my backyard for sure. We'll open our own dealership.
Yep, right next to the oil.
Yep. And the plane.
Oh yeah,
So,
and the plane, of course.
Man, we're stacking it up, and we're also stacking up a bunch of winners, losers, and sleepers today. We got some really interesting ones, very corporate, but let's hit that soundtrack. All right, who wants to start this off?
So the first one is Invite Corporation. I don't know if I said that correctly, but they're essentially a company that does a lot of genetic information, and they do genetic testing. Everything that's involved in genetic testing, which is actually a lot because you got to collect the samples and then you got to amplify the DNA that is included there, and then look at the actual DNA and then compare that to genetic diseases that are on record.
Okay,
Yeah,
sounds
so they
way
went up
above
quite
my
a bit
comprehension.
today. Yeah, no, it is pretty complicated, but they went up a lot today because they just bought out another company called Archer DX. So they're kind of
And
just condensing the market.
okay, so they're in the same industry, so it's mini monopoly.
Kind of, yeah. I'm not sure how many companies there are that does genetic testing, but yeah, they were just condensing essentially.
Huh, weird. And then is Star Surgical, that's another medical company, I'm assuming, but is that like supplies, or they do their own lab work?
Yeah, so the second big winner of the day is Star Surgical Company. It is the abbreviation, or the ticker is STAA. And what they do is they essentially develop, manufacture, sell lenses for the eyes. So, if you have cataracts or if you have some other problem with your lens and you need an artificial lens, then this company produces those artificial lenses to
Oh,
replace
wow.
your biological one.
Oh wow. So if you're pretty vision impaired, does that go for glaucoma too, or does it not really help with that?
Glaucoma. I'm not quite sure if glaucoma is a problem with the lens or not. It may be.
Oh,
Because I don't. I'm not sure. I know glaucoma essentially gives you tunnel vision,
yeah, it does. I
but
mean, I know it's degenerative over time, but
yeah. So I'm not sure if it has to do with your lens or not. It may have to do some more with your retina, but I'm not quite sure. Obviously cataracts because it makes your lens cloudy. Um, Glaucoma. That's a good question.
well, we'll find out next week and report back to you. We're gonna turn this into a medical podcast. But not quite yet. Before we get to the biggest losers, we got DraftKings down 8.92%. You guys know what DraftKings is. We've been talking about it for a while, but major online sports betting company, only in select states where online gambling is legal, of course. Haha. and and we got Baozun, which is down 6.71%. And I hadn't heard of them until today, but it's basically the Chinese version of Shopify. They're a big e-commerce supplier and they do merchant services too. So I wonder if that's going to take off because, like Dave was saying, the whole industry and tariffs in China might be changing soon.
Yeah, we'll just start using bows on for our for our needs.
We got merch dropping on Baozun. Just wait on it.
Hashtag not sponsored yet.
Not sponsored yet. Baozun, if you want to sponsor us, you know the drill. biggauchos@gmail.com. Well, boys, I'm feeling a little sleepy. I don't know about you, so I'm taking a nap and do sleeper stocks. Number one, Wells Fargo, nothing crazy, major bank, well loved among many. They're just really stable, and they do have their ups and downs. But if you buy while they're in the slumps a little bit, you could make a modest return, and then they have a little bit of dividends. It's not bad, so very conservative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're a decent stock. You know, they might have had that scandal a couple years ago with opening accounts without
Fake
people's
accounts.
without people's consent. But
It's no big
you know,
deal.
that's behind them now. They're a new company.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
Yeah, I use Wells Fargo, and I'll be honest, they did not open an account under my name, so I don't know.
Yet. I'm just kidding. Wells Fargo, if you're listening, that is satire.
True.
And then the second one is going to be Jones Lang LaSalle, trading under JLL. You might have seen them around your hometown, but they're a commercial real estate brokerage, and they also do investment management and high net worth client fund management. So not only are they dominating in the commercial space, but if you got a lot of money, they're probably helping you manage your portfolio. So I think it's definitely a buy. There's always going to be a demand for that.
Definitely. You know, I
Yeah.
think it's a good sleeper stock.
Especially when commercial real estate crashes. I mean, it doesn't matter if the market's up or down, but if it's down, people are going to want to be buying commercial like crazy. So it would bring a lot of new business to them. So buy in now.
Mm-hmm. And then the last sleeper stock is Boyd Gambling or Boyd Gaming. Ooh, casino owner and managers.
Potato.
Yeah, gaming, gambling, same thing.
It's just a nice way of saying it. Yeah, they own casinos inside and outside of Las Vegas, and they also manage some properties. So gaming is going down right now. I know my MGM's down personally, but
Sad.
it's all about that long-term Vegas recovery at this point.
Mm-hmm. So, do you think with the uptick in Corona cases, do you think we're going to go back into lockdown around Las Vegas, where they're going to shut down the casinos?
Oh, definitely, because it was rated in uh it was that rating system that they put out, and right at the top of easiest and easiest ways to get coronavirus and the best ways to spread it is going to the casino. That was like
Jesus.
that was like it was like right next to the gym, so I'm sure it could cause an outbreak at some point.
Yeah, I mean, what if we just see in the news that um, MGM helps facilitate 10,000 cases of coronavirus?
The new epicenter is the Las Vegas Strip of the whole world.
I'd
Just
buy.
people gambling with their money,
That'd be
getting
horrifying.
coronavirus. Yeah, you know, you already lose your life savings, and then you just get coronavirus, and it's not a good time.
Yeah, they're like, well, we got nothing else going for us, so oh, well, we got everything going for us because Anchor makes it easy for us to upload these podcasts. Have a great time and keep bringing you guys new content. So, on that note, let's hit that ad from Anchor.
Hey.
Ooh, fresh. Okay, so for tomorrow,
Oh, predictions. My
there we
favorite
go.
time.
I know Dave's been killing it. I'm slacking. Tyler and I are kind of slacking,
We need to get to
and
double digits.
I know I know I don't know how this keeps happening, but I need to start sending in my number before Canal because I'm sick of it. Actually, wait, Dave already had a swear word in this, so it's gonna be explicit anyway. I'm fucking sick of his shit all the time.
Jesus, man.
That's okay. I'm on the come up.
Dang. For the kids, man. Chill out.
Hey, you did it. You did it first. So I'm already gonna have to mark it as explicit.
Yeah, but whatever. I was upset. Okay, I was upset talking about something that I'm passionate about.
Yeah, I
Cut
was.
it. Cut it. Cut
I
it from the
was.
edit.
I was too.
Yeah.
I can't. I can't.
All right.
All right.
Well, if you
So
guys haven't noticed, I am the king of predictions. I have 15 wins, and I'm very far from second place. Cardinal is 14. Austin's at 7, and Tyler is at 6. So, clearly, I am probably the best predictor of all of us.
all right. After all the hot air gets out of his head, we can hear his number.
I think without a doubt, if you ever want some advice, you want to come to me because I always predict correctly. Almost always. Just it's very rare that I do not predict correctly, but eventually someday, like right
All
now,
right.
if you look at the
Thanks everyone for
numbers,
listening. Good night from Arizona. We hope you made some money today.
no. If you look at the numbers,
Oh my God, Dave, just give me a
I
number.
I have a 33% win rate essentially with predictions. I'm trying to get that up to about 50% just because I feel like
all right.
that.
We need a number. We need a number.
Okay.
This kid.
Go with 26,150.
Dude, you're a bitch.
What?
Hey
I was
Tyler,
gonna
what
say
happened for
26
the kids?
100.
Well, you can go with that number. I don't care.
All right,
I
bet.
I'm going 26 150 because I know it's going to land on that number. So it doesn't matter what you predict.
This is some fuck shit. I don't even care anymore.
Wait, no, no,
Whoa.
no, no, wait. Our parents watch this.
Hey, you were just hopped on that train too, Tyler.
Dude, I'm not worried about my parents, my guy.
I'm not
We all know
either.
who we have to worry about.
Hey man, we're all chilling. We're all chilling.
Oh my.
Um. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna. I'm so hesitant to even say it's gonna go down.
Don't even try.
No, they
Are you
never go
gonna
down.
Are you gonna try, Tyler?
No, I said 26 100.
You're 50 points under Dave.
Dude, he took my goddamn number.
You guys are unbelievable. 20 25 850. I'll round it out over there.
Okay,
Love it.
cool. So we got one going down. Tyler's going bowl. I'm going bowl, and we'll see what happens. But
Yep. I guess you're just gonna have to come back and find out. Sorry we made the episode explicit. We kind of went on a tangent, but
Yeah. Next week will be PG.
yeah,
that was
we'll
not me. I want to clarify. I
started it. Dave started it to clarify.
am not explicit.
So
Anyway,
sorry for all the viewers out there.
hey, we're fine. All our early episodes are like that. But we want to thank everyone for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. Leave us a voice message on anchor.fm/gauchos or biggauchos.com. If you want to send in an investing tip, we might play it on the show. Tyler, can you do that disclaimer for us, please?
Yeah, just a quick disclaimer for all those big gauchos out there that we are not licensed brokers. Everything said on this podcast is because of our experiences and through our knowledge. And with that being said, please do your homework, do your research before investing. We're not liable for any loss of money, but we are directly liable for all gains. So with that being said, please like and subscribe and reach out to us, give us some advice, tell us what y'all thinking, and we'll go from there. David, let the viewers know what our Insta is.
Yeah, so our Insta is at Big Gauchos, and go check it out. We post some cool stuff on there sometimes.
Yes, we do. We're always posting great content. And if you're listening to us on streaming platforms, specifically Apple Podcasts, make sure if you're enjoying what you're hearing, give us a rating real quick or a quick review. Tell us something nice. Tell us something that wasn't nice. Whatever you want. We're pretty open. We're chill guys. And all that said, it's a good night from Arizona. We hope you made some money today.